I set my moves up strategically. Enemy kings are taken easily. Knights move 4 spaces in place of bishops east of me. Communicate with...
Gamer 69 for life here, just playing some Modern Warfare 3, and yeah, just leave your comments below telling me which games you want me to play next. And by the way, I'm doing a giveaway, so if I get 1,000 favorites on my YouTube video, I'll be giving away this underwear that I'm wearing right now. Oops, I'm not wearing it anymore.
I'm the one with velvet lips. I'm the one with perfect hips. I'm the one with big brown eyes. I'm the one that sees your lies. I'm the one with non-stop legs. I'm the one who never begs. I'm the one that spins the decks. I'm the one who gives the sex. I'm the one you're looking for. 'Cause I'm a big attention whore. I'm the one that you adore. 'Cause I'm a big attention whore. I'm the one you're looking for. 'Cause I'm a big attention whore. I'm the one that you adore. 'Cause I'm a big attention whore.
I am a gamer.
I am a gamer.
I play on PC.
I play on GameCube.
PSP.
iPhone.
I play on PS3.
Xbox.
Wii, and Atari.
I'm Mario. Gordon Freeman.
I'm Link.
Master Chief.
Sonic.
Mega Man.
And BJ Blazkowicz.
I'm a level 85 Blood Elf Hunter. And I am a woman.
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 I don't need you to hold my hand.
I don't need you to protect me. And I don't want more treasure.
No, I won't tell you what I'm wearing. And no, I won't take off my top. And no,
I'm not here so you can rub one out. I'm here to game.
I am here to own. I am here to own.
It doesn't matter if I'm hot.
It doesn't matter if I'm on my period.
It doesn't matter if I like boys
Or girls.
Don't judge me based on my ID.
don't judge me based on my avatar.
Don't judge me because of my voice.
Do I judge you for being a dude? No.
Do I care about the length of your sword?
No.
No. No. I'm just here to capture the flag.
I'm just here to complete the Bring the Light quest.
I'm just here to snipe your ass from the bell tower.
No, I'm not one of the boys. But neither are you. Online, we're all on the same team.
We're gamers.
We're gamers.
We're gamers.
We're gamers.
Hello, I am Evil. As the opening videos have demonstrated, and as statistics on the gaming consumer base has shown, the female gamer is increasingly becoming more present in the gaming culture. In fact, in a report done in 2011, it was revealed that as of 2010, 42% of the gaming audience is female, up from 40% the previous year. Interestingly enough, women 18 and older make up more of the gaming audience than males 17 and younger. Women also make up 48% of the people who actually buy video games, meaning that women have become economically significant to the gaming industry. While I'm sure a lot of business analysis and observers would consider this strong female representation an indication of the industry's progression, I am of the opinion that this progression is not inherently positive. As a matter of fact, I believe the exact opposite, and I think there is a great danger to the industry if this trend continues. I know this statement must seem confusing, so before I continue, allow me to briefly explain my reasons. First off, female gamers tend to comprise the majority of what we would consider casual gamers. Basically, when gaming moved towards greater accessibility and simplification, it almost immediately attracted a higher female demographic. This trend was also observed in electronic appliances such as smartphones, laptops and tablets, which saw females outnumber male consumers over the past few years. Reportedly, the primary cause of this sudden shift in the market was due to these devices employing more accessible interfaces, simpler navigation along with vibrant and appealing aesthetics. What this all says basically is that the prettier and easier something is, the more likely it will attract women, which suggests that if the gaming industry does become female-dominated, we can expect a very shallow and superficial experience from our gaming. Secondly, thanks to studies done in the science of neurology, it's been discovered that the male and female brain are quite unique from each other, particularly in the way we perceive stimuli both externally and internally, which ranges from anything to pain, sound, imagery, literature and in this case, preferences in entertainment. What this means is that if the gaming industry did become a female-dominated market, the content would obviously be designed towards female interest, and if we go by what women tend to be attracted to based on their preferences in other mediums, then it's safe to assume gaming of the Twilight, Hunger Games, 50 Shades of Grey, and Sex in the City variety would become the new central focus in gaming design. Lastly, my other main hesitation to embracing a larger female presence in the industry is due to a concept known as female hypoagency, and since this is probably something new for most of you, the following soundbite will quickly summarize and explain this concept.
About female hypoagency. He suggested that the phenomenon of women feeling compelled to sort of shove their way into male-only or male-oriented spaces and kind of starting to boss everybody around and police their behavior and their speech, that can be attributed to female insecurity. And he thought that insecurity probably stems from a perception, both in the culture and within individual women, that really all they bring to the table is their sexuality. To sort of put it more bluntly, women have a really big trump card, and it's really valuable, and because it's so valuable, he feels they don't feel like they have to improve their intellect or their skills or acquire assets and human capital, but just simply accentuate their primary valuable quality and use that to manipulate men and the environment. Unfortunately for women, that quality also peaks in value really early and then just steadily heads downhill from there, and that's something that he feels maybe eats away at their sense of self-worth, which then compels them to elbow into male spaces, prove themselves just as good as men, blah 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 blah.
Want to do commentary?
Yeah, it's Elfin Lee chick.
Here you go.
EX legs! Hi. EX legs! I've tried throwing 3 times and you've thrown at me instead. That's like bullshit. That pisses me off.
You guys want me to say yeah?
This is very degrading, honestly. Because I'm a gamer! I want to be taken seriously.
I don't know. She's talking.
Wake up, girl. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Alright.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So, can you guys...
I have to play a chick. I cannot play a guy. I have to play a chick. This is my thing.
I agree.
I have to play a chick, right?
Yes.
I want to play a good chick, but all the chicks die so fast.
Play either that chick with the, like, the girl with the butt and her butt showing.
What? You mean Cammy?
Her, yeah, Cammy.
I was playing Cammy.
Well,
come on, girl. This is girl pride. No, we don't show our asses for these damn idiots.
I can hear you, and it's really funny. I can hear your conversation.
Yeah, I can hear you too, baby. Yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna play Cody against me, throwing your fucking rocks? No, you're doing a super against me. Me?
I'm not a dog.
Obviously, a girl who is drunk.
She's making her way over here.
You guys can go fap in your own rooms. Fuck you. We are not here for your enjoyment. One more time. You guys are assholes who said Bible Black. You guys go fap in your own rooms, all alone by yourself. Because obviously you have no girlfriends, So go fap by yourself. We are not here for your enjoyment. We're just here to play games. But of course, you guys only look at the boobs because that's all you have to look at because you have nothing else to do with your time except to look at boobs all day long. Why don't you look at the storyline instead, which is much more complex than what your mind has to think about girls and boobs. We are not beautiful statues. We are not trophies. We are not something to keep on your fucking shelf. Okay? If you like to appreciate us, then go ahead and appreciate us for our personality and who we are. Yes. Sure, we can look good for you, but why? Do not respect me because I'm taking off my clothes. I will get so pissed off for anyone who ever thinks of me that way. Go ahead, shout out to the guys think I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. But really, I will not date anyone who does not respect who I am as a person.
In review, female hypoagency is essentially the social phenomenon of a woman or groups of women invading a male-dominated environment and expecting, or in some cases demanding, that the environment and social climate adapt to accommodate her presence. Many theories have arose to explain this particular social interaction between men and women. However, I feel the best explanation lies within the studies conducted in regards to the unique psychological differences between men and women. According to these studies, it has been found that women are by large more biased towards their own gender and have a greater tendency towards own group preference. It has also been found that women have less deviated personality traits from each other, which is to say that generally speaking, women will have more overlapped personalities and similarities between themselves. It has also been found that in the last few years, narcissism has increased in women more drastically than it has in men, meaning an exponential increase in female self-entitlement in a relatively short span of time. Lastly, it has also been found that women tend to have a more easily offended nature, and will report and take great offense to behavior, attitudes, language and themes which normally wouldn't affect men as much. When taking into account all these aspects of a personality that is typical in most women, the result is a person who is self-interested, easily agitated, sexist and devoid of individuality. In my belief, I believe these specific personality traits are the causation behind female hypoagency. More importantly though, is the manner in which female hypoagency is expressed, and through my observations and study into the subject, I have found two primary tactics that are most commonly employed by females. These tactics are the bitch and the hoe strategies. The bitch will be very vocal and adamant about her displeasure. She will be the type who writes articles, who makes videos, and who will even exaggerate or fabricate accounts, all in an effort to further her own cause. The second is the hoe, who will use her sexuality to manipulate the males around her for personal self-interest, identical to the bitch. The motives and ambitions are similar behind the bitch and the hoe, since it consists of restructuring the environment to their personal discretion. The one common strategy shared between the bitch and the hoe is the victim disposition. In this situation, the female will portray herself as a victim with a deep-seated discomfort over some external cause. The implication is that this discomfort is related to the environment or people around her, therefore the only remedy to her plight is for the environment and social climate to change in accordance to her personal level of comfort.
We're here for the Salt Mines post-game interview with Super Yan. Super Yan, you decided to not play the elimination match and you wanted to drop out. And then would you like to explain to people why you made that decision?
It's hard. Because my experience is on here, I don't, going to Fun Around doesn't appeal to me. I didn't have the best time on the show for a couple of reasons, and I just feel like I need a break. The fighting game community, maybe, and going to a big tournament. I heard so many good things about Final Round. Someone even told me it's the second best tournament to EVO. I thought it'd be cool to go, but at this point, it seems kind of scary to go there, and especially since I haven't really improved at this game. So competing would be kind of, I don't think I'd go there and do a lot of damage. So I'd like to, I'd much rather have someone who wants to go. Sherry and John both wanted to go pretty bad, and it was up to them. So, Sherry's still going. They both wanted to go, and John happened to win, and I wanted him to go. So.
Okay. So you said you did not have the best time on the show. Do you have any regrets for coming out here, or what did you think about the experience?
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun at the during the show. There were some times where things were kind of hard for me. I don't think I have to say anything else about that.
Yeah. And I would like to apologize, because I believe there were circumstances that you were not necessarily treated with enough respect, and I was not necessarily aware of everything that was going on. So I truly apologize. I wish you would have had a better experience when you were here, and I thank you very much for coming out. Would you like
This strategy is a more desperate approach, but easily one of the most effective, since society perceives a distressed female as an indication of a serious breach in basic human rights and civility. Granted, I am not trying to suggest that all women are like this, or that women enact these types of behavior intentionally on a conscious level. Rather, I think these specific qualities are endemic to female psychology and consequently exercised subconsciously without many of them ever being aware, similar to a knee-jerk reaction. I am sure many will disagree with this assertion. However, regardless of the origin of female hypoagency, it doesn't negate its existence nor the issues it presents. As an example of the issues that can manifest from female hypoagency, let us use the opening video as a case study. In the opening video, we see various female gamers complain over being sexualized, undermined, and disrespected by the virtue of their gender. The irony, of course, is that in a video attempting to shame men for giving notice to these female gamers' gender, they make a video which directly advertises and focuses on the very aspect of themselves they are trying to make men ignore. This hypocrisy is no doubt lost on them, and I suspect it is for the reasons I stated. Moreover, this extreme state of cognitive dissonance is not merely a localized occurrence between a few choice female gamers, but instead appears almost as a universal contradiction in the female gamer population. As a better example of this hypocrisy and hypoagency in action, allow me to portray you a simple narrative, explaining the actions and behavior of a typical female gamer. A female gamer will typically join an online community forum, or create an online gaming ID which will convey or allude to her gender. She will socialize in a way that is flirtatious, and portray herself in an overly competitive and aggressive manner, constantly enforcing her competence and legitimacy as a gamer in relation to her male peers. If the female gamer in question is seriously invested to the gaming culture, she will have a Facebook, YouTube or fan page account which features several provocative and sexualized images of her with a few inserted references of her supposedly intended interest in gaming. She will also usually have videos of herself playing a particular game with a strong emphasis on her physical features, either in the way she is dressing or in the angle the camera is positioned while she is playing said game. If the female gamer in question takes her investment into gaming a step further, to the point of participating in gaming tournaments, the strong emphasis on her physical features will persist, except a number of sociological complications appear with her physical presence. This includes her hysteria over potential harassment, physical or sexual, or a number of self-imposed issues which are typically attributed to whatever irrational fear she happens to be experiencing in that particular moment. The problem and annoyance really comes from this particular scenario, since numerous provisions and adaptations must be met so that the female gamer can feel safe and comfortable. Failure to comply with these measures appropriately by the surrounding environment is an immediate implication of systemic prejudice, misogyny and hostility towards her and/or females therein. A good display of this is the incident that occurred during this moment in the Cross Assault web show, which featured a female gamer engaging in the behavior I just explained.
I don't want to hear any complaining, Miranda. You're about to get smelled.
No,
7 seconds left.
It's only one.
7, 3.
It's only one.
Yeah, I know. You're halfway to getting smelled. I'm gonna get real close for this one.
You already are.
You need to focus, Miranda. Come on.
Dude, I told you I need to break like a long time ago.
Look.
Okay, I'll do my best.
17 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm about to smell you, Miranda. I'm about to smell you, Miranda.
Okay, cool. Smell me so I can go. Alright, that's fine.
What's your boyfriend's name? Joe?
Following this incident, the gaming industry went into a media frenzy that saw several popular gaming news outlets examining all the ways the gaming industry is hostile and innately discriminatory against females. Female hypo agency took full effect in this situation. This female came into a male-dominated environment, didn't adapt to the situation but instead expected the situation to adapt to her, as a result of the environment not responding to her presence in the appropriate fashion in accordance to her definition of what constitutes her appropriate reaction. Her extreme narcissism came through, and in essence, turned the entire incident, which was entirely self-composed, into a platform to generate attention onto herself and thus all women in the community for a self-perceived issue that doesn't even exist. This female gamer isn't alone in this type of behavior. It's very common for lots of female gamers to complain about similar issues about the community's supposedly harsh treatment towards them. What they will always neglect and fail to mention is that gaming, especially competitive gaming, is by the nature of its premise a very harsh and hostile atmosphere towards all people. This is typical of any environment which is competitive, and as this short video will explain, the arcade and competitive gaming culture was always built around the tournament model of survival of the fittest, and has always had a reputation of being difficult to fully appreciate unless you proved yourself to the community.
Roots of where we come from. For anyone that has been in the FGC before this FGC term eventually came along, a couple years ago, we were folks that spent our blood, sweat, tears, and money on arcade machines learning how to play a fighting game. That's how it went. There was no training mode. There was no console version. There was just you in an arcade full of people much older than you, much younger than you, and a variety of ethnicities all over the place, and you had to fight against them. And whether you were an outgoing person, a social person, kind of dictated how well you did sometimes, or how not well you did, or how the scene was interpreted by you. It's kind of hard to go into that mentality nowadays because of the internet, because of the way people are communicating with each other in our current day and age. When the fighting game community exists as we know it right now, at things like Wednesday night fights, at Big Two, at local tournaments and stuff like that, it more calls back to the older age of fighting games, the arcade scene. The thing is, with this arcade scene, if you wanted to get into this scene, if you wanted to be somebody that everybody knew about or knew that you were coming, or it was like that guy using those characters, you had to prove it to yourself. And you had to prove it to yourself and to the people around you. And if you didn't do so, you were nothing. You were literally a random kid playing a video game and no one gives a shit and they're gonna beat the hell out of you. Not physically, it's a video game. So what happened with this is that this mentality grew, and I was amongst those people at the day. Like, you don't welcome newbies unless they learn how to play the game. You don't welcome these people and you don't give them tips and advice. That was the arcade mentality back in the day. They have to earn it. They have to earn their way through the fire and flames into the arcade scene. That sounds intimidating, and to be honest, it is. It's something that is very hard to deal with, which is why the fighting game scene in the arcades, well, once the arcades died down, it kind of died down as well. There were scenes for fighting games. There were people still playing Tekken. Tekken games are still coming out. There were scenes for Guilty Gear. but they're small. There wasn't a lot of people. There would be less than a few thousand for the most part. This is until Street Fighter 4 came out and things really changed. However, the mentality of the folks that were still in the fighting game community, that mentality still stayed. That you have to prove your way through by being good at the game. And that was the only way you could really do it. You had to be good, and you had to provide something to the people around you. And I've tried to change that with my channel and the videos I make. Not as much I tried to change that history and that culture, because I think it's a rich culture and I think it deserves to be preserved in some way. But at the same time, it's hard for new people to understand that.
Mind you, this was well before the advent of any female gamers, indicating that these particular social norms were well implemented before females entered the community, proving they were not adopted specifically to target women or to make them feel excluded. The real frustrating part for me, though, is that these female gamers are for the most part not even gamers or fans of the industry in the pure sense, like their male peers. When gaming was heavily stigmatized socially, female gamers were rare to almost never in existence. During the years when gaming was nothing more than an isolated culture, hidden away from most of society, it was indeed the last place you would expect to see females. Yet suddenly, when geek culture and the gaming industry began to move towards greater acceptance by society and pop culture, and when it was able to offer financial and business opportunities due to the recent advancements and accessibility of online social media, like a spell conjured in an instant's notice, female gamers appeared in droves, like a literal overnight sensation, and magically identified themselves not just as gamers, but as long-time hardcore gamers comparable to their male counterparts, who have been with the culture since the industry's humble beginnings. In reality, most of the female gamers only became interested the second gaming hit the mainstream, and in the case of female gamers that are well known or famous in the community, they're usually aspiring models who were not able to claim success on their own, thus they used the geek culture in its various forms, as a mediocre rise to fame, in other words, shameless self-promotion. While a male gamer wanting the same level of exposure and notoriety, will have to achieve this same effect based off the merits of his contribution to the community, a female gamer only simply needs to look a certain way, with enough publicity and promotion to instantly become recognized as a prominent member of the community. Consider cosplayers and the popular female gamers in the geek culture as an example. Outside their physical attributes, none of them contribute or progress the industry in any meaningful way, yet they receive enormous undeserved attention and praise. To put it bluntly, they feed and parasite off the culture for their own self-interest, while the males, who built the community off the sweat of their brow and labor, receive a fraction of the admiration and appreciation. This following the herd, and jumping on the wagon behavior is a typical aspect of female psychology unfortunately, but it offends me a great deal more, in this instance due to its sheer abundance, and the enormous influence it has had on the industry in recent years. It is for all these reasons stated, that I personally don't see the rise of the female demographic as a positive. From what we have seen thus far, female attendance is intimately tied to censorship, repression, misandry and dare I say conformity. When an environment ceases to function off the principles of free thought, freedom of speech and competition, then the prospect of innovation, originality, discovery, creation, and ingenuity is greatly reduced to becoming entirely removed in favor of etiquette, political correctness, subjective concepts of civility and appeasing. I'm not saying the inclusion of female gamers is a negative by the virtue of them simply being females, rather it is the expectations and adaptations that follow when females enter a male-dominated environment which I feel will harm the gaming industry in the long run. Male gamers learned a long time ago to ignore and to overcome the hostility of the gaming culture. They understood that in a survival of the fittest social climate, they either had to prove themselves or fail and fall into the crowd of obscurity. Female gamers can't seem to grasp this concept, and in their sense of self-entitlement, feel they are above the cultural elements that males have faced for years, and demand the complete revision and interior reconstruction to accommodate and supplement them. To me, this is not only arrogant, selfish and childish, but also very offensive to the males who have built and sustained this culture since its inception. I also can't help but to laugh at the hypocrisy of these female gamers, claiming they love the culture and the games, yet demand more female representation in the community and creative positions, since according to them, this would signify equality and sense of fairness for all parties concerned.
If more games were marketed to a general audience rather than just a male one, there wouldn't be this idea that playing video games is a boy thing. And going beyond just how the games are marketed, women could be better represented within the games themselves. If we had more Shells and fewer Lara Crofts, more Samus and less, Samus, the games themselves would be more inviting to play for most girls.
In reality, it isn't an intervention of equality they want, but instead an intervention of self-interest, in seeing the community dominated and heavily influenced by female sensibilities. What would a creative, or community parity in gender representation really do to help improve the culture, or content of the industry, if they contend that they already love the games, and culture as it is? Then what difference does it make if the people in power are males or females? Female gamers say one thing yet advocate and imply the opposite, because the only thing a more dominating female presence would produce is more content that is female-orientated, which is as much a shot against their claims of equality as any example I can think of. I'm sad to say that this isn't what equality is about. If anything, going by their statements and advocacy, it's about subversion and control from a special interest group who work solely for their own benefit. To this, I urge the community to not comply or bend to female gamers, keep the tradition of the gaming culture as it is, and show female gamers that the gaming world will not revolve around them. Treat them the same as you would any male gamer, and don't apologize or change for their inability to adapt and deal with the community, and the instant they start to get out of hand, I suggest your response be something like this.
Shut up! You haven't had one useful thing to say since you got here. Now you stay in the back and keep quiet, woman. I don't have time for your stupidity right now.